All right, well, here we go.
We're going to jump right into
We're
it.
jumping right in. Hello, everybody. I don't know where to look. This camera. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Not Ones, Episode 2. This is the session that's going to be based around our second single, which is called Shedding Light, sort of the unofficial title track of the album. I don't know if we've even officially revealed that, so to be safe, I won't say it now, but good stuff. It involves some of the lyrics. Lyrics of this track. Well, the album's not called Shedding Light, so I didn't spoil anything.
It's not a literal title
It's
track,
not literal.
but it contains the title.
I believe my specific words were somewhat of a title track, so I fact-check that bitch. Unofficial title track of the album. So welcome to episode 2. We've got the whole band here. We've got Andrew via FaceTime, and we've got Ben here in the room with us.
I finally made it. I'm a member of the band.
He's a true member of the band.
What the fuck was that?
He said that I joined the band, apparently.
It's fine. We're gonna ignore that.
It's all good.
I have no idea what just happened.
No.
Oh my god, that is such a mess that I'm not gonna deal with it right now.
Andrew's made a mess. That'll be the epilogue. So we don't have Andrew here in the room with us. He has a bit of a COVID scare, so we're just playing it extra safe here. And so, yeah, you guys know the deal by now. You've seen the first episode, hopefully. We're going to take a sample of escalating hot sauces. We've got one repeat and 3 new ones on our end. Andrew's got a special slate on his end since he's separate from us. Once again, repping Hot Sauce Nashville, my hat. We've got 2 new Hot Sauce Nashville products in the mix this week, starting off with the hot garlic at item number 1. So what we like to do is everybody eats their first sauce. Andrew, I don't know if you want to say what your sauce is as well, and then I'll just ask kind of a general question, and we'll go around the band and answer it.
Sounds good.
And then at the end, of course, we're going to do a playthrough of Shedding Light, and it's either going to go terribly or medium, depending on how much the spice has rotted our brains.
Load it up.
Loading it up. All right, so I'll just jump right into the first question. It's very general. I figure we'll just go, we'll pass the mic down the line in the room here, and then Andrew, you can bring us home. So it's real general. How'd you first get into music? And then however you want to, embellish on that. If it's playing music, just the first time you noticed, listening, whatever you want. It's free. There's no rules here on this show.
Short version, I was 3 years old at a Clint Black concert and saw the band up there and was like, yeah, I want to do that. That sounds rad. And so I started piano the next year, and it's been downhill ever since. I've completely ruined my entire life in the pursuit of music. So, yeah, that was the first time I remember being like, music seems rad. Yeah.
My first experience of music was just being around it at bluegrass festivals at Telluride Bluegrass Festival in Colorado, and what was the other one? Merle Fest in North Carolina. So my dad would play there a lot with different bluegrass artists, and took piano at age 7, started drumming at 11, and then eventually made the switch to just drums at 14, but that's kind of the origin. So
Percussion boy.
Yeah. So the first concert I remember going to, and actually paying attention, I'm sure I went to other musical events, but the first concert where I sat down and paid attention was actually, we were just talking earlier about Nickel Creek. It was Nickel Creek. My dad took me to see them fairly early on. I must have been maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. Something around there. So that was the first time where I really paid attention, especially since they're, for all intents and purposes, acoustic. So it was pretty intimate, and it was really paying attention to the musicianship as opposed to just having music be this background thing or just this separate entity. It was the first time I really remember having that kind of a direct emotional connection to what was going on in front of me.
I was always into music, and as a kid the first actual concert I went to was NSYNC. And in second grade, we created our own little pretend boy band in second grade and tried to write a song, but it was literally just one line. But the thing that wanted to make me learn how to actually make music was Guitar Hero 2. I got that in middle school, and then once I blew through that and the other ones, I was like, this isn't enough. I need to do this for real. And then at some point in late middle school or early high school, I was being the pouty emo teenager on family vacation and listening to Boxcar Racer over and over, and then I watched the Mastodon making of Crack the Sky, and those two things combined, I was like, yeah, this is what I have to do, and it's ever since.
Nice. Andrew, what do you got?
Hell yeah. So yeah, I grew up playing piano, learning from my grandma. I really didn't want to do it. It was like something I would do every Friday after getting off of elementary school. We were then rewarded with happy hour after piano lessons, which was snacks and cookies while my grandparents drank under the bar. But it was fun. And then so I moved to Shanghai, China when I was in the 4th grade. I lived there from 2004 to 2007, and piano wasn't really an option in band class at the time. So the band teacher basically just handed me a pair of drumsticks and was like, "Here, like this is sort of like in the same family." So I started doing that. There was another drummer that was really good, so he took me under his wing a little bit. And then there was another teacher I had in middle school it was the same sort of vibe where he just took me under his wing and really showed me what it was to be a true musician, not just behind the drums, but in general. And then along the way, I picked up the guitar and started playing power chords and came across Green Day's American Idiot and realized if I can play a power chord, I can basically play any song that I want to some degree.
Yeah.
And following that, I was always a singer growing up, in the car and whatever, playing piano a little bit. But when the guitar thing came along, singing and playing guitar was the only reason I became a songwriter, really, is because I found out, the movements of the chords and everything like that, and fairly simple. And then, it just kind of grew and grew into an obsession. Pretty straightforward.
Awesome. I should tuck away in my back pocket a question for another time about people who took you under their wing, because that's definitely a common theme, I think, probably for a lot of us who have ended up as full-time musicians, whatever that might mean.
100%.
But yeah, I think especially to be in a band at all, to have any sort of consistent musical output is more than most quote-unquote musicians do, right? If you think about how many people own musical instruments and play musical instruments versus how many are in a band,
Hell yeah.
that's quite the ratio. Yeah, so next up we've got Hot Ginger from Hot Sauce Nashville. I think this is the
Ginger, all right.
Yeah, I think this is the increasing order in terms of Hot Sauce Nashville products that we have on hand today.
I think this one's gonna mess me up more than the hot sauces.
Just because it's a little extra.
Ginger.
Yeah.
That's an interesting combo right there.
Oh, the first one's.
Yeah, first one's still on my tongue too.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm hanging out with Scrubs. That's what I'm doing.
You got yours?
Well, compared to you, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm moving up to ghost pepper wing sauce right now.
Holy shit.
Nice.
It should be.
Wait, the Melinda's ghost pepper?
Yes, my man.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dude, Melinda's my second wife. Love that
You
movie.
gotta put it on everything. Put it on everything.
There you go.
It's so good.
I'll send you a picture. I have a hot sauce cabinet with 40 sauces in it, and most of it's Melinda's.
My mom had
Dang,
I was just
repping
on
Melinda's.
vacation with her. She had the Trinidad's scorpion
Yes.
one.
That
I
was-
haven't seen it in Nashville yet, but that's on my list to get next. But it was so good. It was so hot. It was awesome.
Dude, I got a shop near my house. I'll look for you. I'll find it. I'll get it to you.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
So yeah, first impressions. This one's a little bit of more of a slow burn, so we'll see
Yeah,
how
I
it
don't-
increases
I don't
over
feel it
the
yet,
term.
but the last time it
We also
Yeah.
supposed to eat it at the same time. I feel like we should eat before we talk. Isn't that the?
That's what
That's what we
that's
did.
what we've been doing.
Yeah. More or less, yeah. So the second question I'll aim at anybody, but I don't necessarily think we need to go down the line in the same way. So obviously Ben's new to the band. A little bit of background. We actually first hired him kind of as a session guy just to do the tracks. We were without a bassist. We intentionally didn't want to record the bass parts ourselves because when that happens, at least speaking for myself, it tends to be more or less a mirror image of the guitar part for the most part. Oh, my tongue's getting me now. So anyway, I'm going to hand the mic over to Ben, and I'm just going to ask, how did you approach the writing? I know obviously we would give you direction in certain parts, but your sound is all over this album, and that's part of why it's turned out so amazingly. So let's get into that.
Thanks, dude. I approached it a very similar way to where I approached the last heavy records that I did, where I tried to approach it not as a metal bassist at all. I tried to approach it like an R&B jazz guy playing metal, because if I approach it like a metal guy, it's going to sound like everyone else. And I already am bald with glasses and a beard. Like, I already am like 3/4 of the way to Nolly. So, like, I'm trying to not be. Yes, and Nolly's awesome, but I'm trying not to be another Nolly clone. So when it comes to heavy music, I try to emphasize like different color tones in the chord, and just kind of fun little like trills and stuff like that. Things that aren't necessarily riff based, that are more like chordally minded. So that's kind of how I approached most of this record. Obviously, when you guys had like riffs and stuff like that were super central, like I was like, okay, I got to follow this and create like the sub information and give these riffs the booty butt cheeks that they need. But yeah, most like when y'all gave me freedom, I tried to do the kind of R&B in a heavy context thing. So that's kind of where a lot of like you'll hear when we play today. I do a lot of like. I go up to the 9th and I'll like trill up on the flat 3rd of a chord and go down to the root on some of the higher parts, which is something I stole directly from what's his name? He was a session guy, and he did a bunch of Steely Dan stuff. And I'm specifically thinking, oh, there's a song on Aja where he's always going up to the 9 and coming back down to the root. And I straight up jacked it from him. I'm not even gonna lie.
You can tell we went to
Like.
the wrong
Yeah.
Not all of us, but
Chuck Rainey. Chuck Rainey. There we go. Yeah, Chuck Rainey is his name, and
Okay,
that's who I
yeah.
straight stole that idea from. And Steely Dan's not heavy at all, so that's that's kind of where I approached it personally.
Because we knew Ben could do literally anything, like he said, we were like, we know that you can be as tight and as heavy as we want. Now here's these other things that we want to throw in, like Shedding Light that we're about to play. We specifically referenced some Haken tracks for some of the verse stuff, for like some smooth finger style things, and Ben can literally do all of it. And he's the guy, the example that whenever someone is like, oh, bassists should never play with a pick or things like that, to be like, well, here's someone who can do both and can shut you up. So listen to both and enjoy both. But yeah, it was super collaborative, even though he was not an official member at the time. So it definitely influenced things, and it's just been an amazing team effort all around.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Sauce 3 since we're already feeling
I
this?
think we're ready.
All right, Sauce 3 is the Iguana Triple X. Pretty damn hot. So let's see how this goes.
I hate how much my head sweats when I eat hot sauce. Like, I don't feel it here. I feel the moisture here, and that's what annoys me. Moisture on my dome.
My nose is running already.
Oh. Bon appetit.
Andrew, what is your third sauce?
So I sent you guys this earlier. It's the El Yucateco.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
This is a very popular brand, but this one is particularly tasty to me, but also has that heat that hangs around for a while. It's also kind of a verde looking sauce. Like, it's kind of green, which you
I
don't
love a
really
good
see
green.
too many like extra super hot ones being
No,
very
yeah.
kind of like usually more mild. But this one packs a punch, and it's so tasty. So it's one
Yeah,
of my favorites.
I love a good green, but usually I do go for a green when I want it to be mild. So I need to pick up some actual super hot
You
green.
can find it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Have you tried the black sauce in there? It's like the sauce
Dude,
on top is black.
I literally just got
Yes!
it.
Dude, it's good.
I
It's
did
good.
not include it in the lineup because it did not particularly like blow my socks off heat wise,
No.
but it is so tasty.
Yes.
I was gonna make it like my lower tier, and then so I didn't even talk about my first one I did was this Lynchburg habanero hot sauce, which has like
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Daniels in it.
We had the
Pretty cool.
jalapeno version last
Yeah, we had
time.
the jalapeno version last time. Exactly. It was super
Yeah, it's
tasty.
very cool. Yeah. So it's kind of, again, if we're plugging local things,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is local.
Got some great burger
I'm also
pieces.
drinking Sean and I love this brewery, Southern Grist.
Oh, nice.
This
Yeah.
is
Beer with
what
the
is
hot
it?
sauce.
Their,
Looks like a stout of
Switch
some
the
kind.
Drip. It's a coffee-inspired stout, which I think was pretty good for spicy food. It's got a creamy, lactosey, milky substance, and
There you
beer's
go.
always good when you're eating hot. So
Hell yeah.
All right, question number 3, the final question, and then after the 4th sauce, we go into playthrough mode. So I think this is another good kind of down the line one. We'll just do the same order. It doesn't have to follow the letter of the question, but what's the best piece of advice or the best thing you've learned through being in a band? However you want to interpret that.
communicate when you're having an issue and squash it quick. Don't just kind of let things slide. And I'm not saying be like a dickhead about it. Not, don't just hop and yell at your bandmates for every little thing. But like if something is legitimately bothering you, just tell them like, hey, I want to have a conversation about this. Approach it like a man or a woman or a non-binary homie. Like approach it like an adult and just squash it. Be done. Move on. Make sure everyone's good when they're done. Grab a couple beers. Hug each other out. Slap a little ass and keep rolling. Know what I'm saying?
Words of wisdom to live by.
Yeah, it's kind of in tandem with that. It's like just keeping that white hot vision of the end product and just focusing on the process getting there, and not really like tethering your expectations to it, not having any expectations with it at all, just doing it because it's like it's in you to do what you're doing, but communication is key, because I feel like everything else kind of follows from that. So that's really the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been really fortunate, at least so far. I mean, we haven't really been on the road together. It's just been for one-offs. So I think we've been very fortunate so far that for the most, I mean, as much as any band ever, we've got pretty good communication. We've had our spats. We've made it through. I would say similar, but just slightly different, like learning to let go and just be less of a perfectionist. And it's at the end of the day, it's not a solo project. Like, we all write in such different ways, and some of us bring more or less fully fleshed out songs. Some of it's just an idea that we'll formulate in a room. And of course, we don't even know what Ben's input on a record from scratch is going to look like. So I think for me, it was getting a lot of checking my own ego and being like, okay, I wrote this song and I have certain benchmarks I want it to hit in terms of how it should sound. And yes, this part I want exactly copied from the demo. But just, it has to be collaborative, and everyone really has to have fun is really at the end of the day, because, we can say it until our faces are blue that we're not making any money, at least at this point. So it's like, that's not what it's about at all. So it has to be about having fun and getting along with the band.
Yeah, and I guess to tie into all that, it's the collaboration, the communication. I feel extremely thankful that we have, but also to tie into that and what Sean said, taking your ego down and thinking about the final product, like Truman said, of like, okay, I want to hear myself, but if I need to be quieter for the whole song to sound good or anything like that, it's gonna be worth it. Almost like movie making as well. Like, you never know what's gonna end up in the final cut, but you all have to go, like Truman said, with the vision to the final product. And once you've done that with a band, it becomes easier as it goes to be like, okay, this is where we started, but I know that it's not going to end up in the same place it started, but I also know that that's happened before and it ended up being rad, so it's just going to be rad again. So Andrew, if you want to take us home on this.
Yeah, and I piggyback on everything everybody just said, especially Sean, in terms of letting sort of God damn, it's spicy.
Andrew's on another plane.
Yeah,
just letting other people put their fingers on your stuff is only going to elevate it more, despite your original idea having certain benchmarks, as he put it. It only makes it better and more unique to the band. That's what a band is when everybody gets to put their hands on something. And also just knowing that you are in a position where other people are there to make you better. They're there to make you sound better. That's what being a band is about. I think if you're like the best player, especially for me as a vocalist, that's a multi-instrumentalist, as a drummer and a guitar player and a semi-piano player, like, I don't do any of that in this band. I'm just a straight vocalist. But I feel very, I get to have a say on the instruments as much as you guys do on my vocals, and like you guys, we all provide excellent feedback, and it's all so collaborative, which is what this is all about. And yeah, I think you guys nailed it, like hit it all on the head. Everything that I would have said. It sucks to go last in this situation. you guys hit it all on the head perfectly. So.
Yeah, and if I can add something to that, actually, I've got this coin, the obstacle is the way. I've definitely shown it to, I don't know if I've shown it to you. Yeah, it's just like, just let go, and like getting there is what will make you feel better. It's not like once we get around this obstacle, then it'll be all right. It's always going to be another thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
This
It's
is the way.
Miley Cyrus.
Did you know that she was also Hannah Montana?
No. All right, so we're gonna. Andrew's got.
I'm skirting top of my death here.
All right, so Andrew's got a crazy one.
You guys don't have to sing. You guys
Right.
all get to play your instruments.
Yeah, so we're gonna
My
take the
voice
last
has
sauce.
to go do things right now.
We're gonna take the last sauce, and we're gonna jump right into playing Shedding Light. Andrew's also gonna do it through the magic of technology. You'll see this jam. We'll see how it goes. But we're going back to the beast from last time. Andrew has something even, holy crap, even hotter.
Dave's is so hot,
You
dude.
guys
Yeah.
both try this at some point.
We're gonna
had
keep
it.
trying to go hotter here. But yeah, so let's take this shit.
Because I'll have a break at some point. You guys are playing the whole time, so. Alright.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
Here, want me to take that one?
No. I didn't go hard enough last time,
Yeah, I'm doing the
so
same amount.
I'm gonna go for it.
Guys, we'll see you on the other side.
All right, peace out.
Nobody fuck up. Everybody does perfect
God,
take.
this
Let's
doesn't
go.
taste good.
Cheers. First
Yeah,
of all,
it's
cheers.
just hot.
Oh my god, Sean. Alright, he's going
This is a weird taste.
Yeah, it's not a great
coming.
flavor on this one.
All right.
And straight onto my tongue.
Oh my god. Alright.
all right.
I'm hanging up. See you later.
Good luck.
See you, bud.
All right.
Boy.
I can take this off a screen record and get it on video.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
move this over to camera mode. There you go.
Oh, I hate this.
This is.
Boy.
That was just not even.
Oh, I gotta do guitar. Neck boy.
Did I?
Last.
Did I miss? Why does it not feel as spicy as it did last time? Do I have hot sauce on my shirt? Like,
No.
oh, no, there it is. Okay. Whew.
I'm cheating.
A little bit. We'll make sure to mark it in the video. Boys doing all right?
Doing okay.
I'm doing fine actually right now.
Keeps
Okay.
going.
So,
Yeah, how is
Order
this
of
still
operations
escalating?
here.
That's
it's on drums.
I hate this.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Let's try it.
Whew.
Ready?
Let's go, boys.
Just a snake hiding in the tall grass, took a line in my class. Fake, little more, little less, it got complex. You're only human now, your bones exposed to let the whole world know you ain't even the star of your own show. We sit time always next in line, race for the falling out. You're finally crawling out of the hole you dug, waiting to admire the rainbow wash you clear. Right in the black sheds everything. because the light in the black sheds everything. Wasted time always next in line. Brace for the falling out. You're finally crawling out of the hole. New time, bleeding turn and mine. The rain will wash me clean. Light in the black shades everything. And you're the spy in the back cutting out from me. You know the line in the black sheds everything. Never again.
Playing helps because you can think about something else.
Other than the heat coursing through you.